Hello again. My name is Mr. Mock, and I am Scarred for Life. We are back again with Brother Manny. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Okay, you were saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah, Johnny. I've enjoyed our chats.
I have too.
Uh,
There's been a couple moments where I've gotten a little upset with you.
and then this is what I mean. I don't say things to bother you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't mean
But do
them to
you
offend
understand that
you.
some of the things you say do bother me?
But this is the crux of it, right?
Uh huh.
If I'm not giving you peace, or rather, if I'm taking your peace, I don't want to be a cause of negativity, right?
No,
Like
brother. You understand that I made this show just so I could talk to people like you, right?
I know,
And
Johnny, pero
getting upset about the things that you're saying and the things that you're promoting is a natural reaction.
no,
And
but it's beyond. I'm not saying to agree with me,
huh,
right? I'm saying, Johnny, you're having a negative emotional reaction to me sometimes, where
yes,
you
because
say,
the things that you're saying are abhorrent and they are vile.
okay,
And
pero
this is my problem is that I don't understand why you're saying these things and why they don't get that reaction out of you.
because, bro, we disagree.
Well, I
We
understand
disagree.
that. But okay, like we were talking about politics, right, when we ended, and you were saying things that were just not true because of the bubble that you have been in and the things that you have heard, right? And
I
like
mean, this is your characterization of my
right.
position.
And you would
So
say the same thing about me because this is what America has turned into, where everybody just thinks that everybody's in their own little bubble.
no, I don't think you're wrong.
Well, then
I don't think you're
okay,
wrong.
let me start with this one then. Okay. Are you proud of your vote for Donald Trump?
No,
Well, do you understand why that would make me upset that you just voted for him just not a few months ago, right? Like
in October or
have
November,
no
right?
November, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't understand why that's a problem for me because you
But
do
you know why the difference here, the disconnect that we're having is because maybe for you, sorry, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth,
go ahead.
but maybe for you, the matter of politics is like very high importance. It's like super
Right.
important. It's
And
it's it's right. And
this
for
is
me, it's just down there in priorities.
okay,
It's
but
not,
this is
you know,
exactly where I wanted the conversation to go. Okay, do you know that you have? Well, you do know, I'm sure, that you have rights as an American citizen, correct?
yes. And
Okay,
exercise it by voting.
well, yes, that is true. You did exercise it by voting. Do you
Yes.
also know that you have civic duties?
I suppose, yeah,
But you've heard that term before, right? Like jury duty,
yes.
right? That's one of our
I've been in
civic
jury
duties.
duty.
All
I've
right,
been in jury duty.
I haven't because I have been called once, and I had already moved out of the state like 10 years previously,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I'm a convicted felon, and so I don't get to play jury.
Is it like marijuana related or something else?
No, actually, when I was 18, I broke into somebody's house when I was high on drugs. Not on
Tough.
marijuana, on meth, actually.
I
But
find that that's very, how do I say this? Like I'm from Miami.
uh-huh.
There wasn't a lot of meth in Miami. This
It
is
was
like a
Coke down
and
there,
yeah, it's
wasn't
like cocaine and party
it?
drugs.
Yeah. I'm
It seems like
actually
methamphetamines is like a very white, like
not.
rural drug,
I
maybe.
mean, nah, not so much, man. It used a lot of Mexicans where I come from, man.
Oh, really?
Oh
My
yeah.
cousins?
Oh, well, that's another thing we got to talk about too. Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Civic duties is where we were. Oh,
Yes.
actually,
Yes.
before that, I went to school in Pensacola, by the way. So
Oh, yeah.
I know Florida a little bit. Yeah, I was down there for like a year.
There's
Yeah,
a
when
big
I was in
naval base there.
yeah, I was in the army. I was in the army stationed at Pensacola NAS.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was an interesting time going to photography school, actually.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
kind
for
of.
your service, sir.
Well, I
That's
never
very
got
nice.
deployed or anything, so don't think I did anything crazy. I went to
So you
school.
did something, that right now it's harder to get into the military than it is to get into college and all this because people
Well,
don't meet the fitness requirements.
well, that's not true.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Maybe because of Pete Hegseth and him like doing all his anti DEI
No, people
stuff.
can't pass the initial fitness test.
Dude, I've been through it, man. I know who passes that test, man.
I know,
Like, come
but
on.
people are obese, bro. Like I couldn't pass that test right now. I'm a overweight guy.
Well, if you were like, intending to go do it, you would probably like get in a little bit of shape first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure,
come
for
on,
sure.
like
Yeah,
you
you
don't.
would try. You would try.
You understand that our army is a 100% volunteer unit, right?
Yep, yep.
That's all of our military is all volunteer.
Except, we
That's
this is a point of agreement that we can have here. It was all volunteer until we had that secret draft for the Iraq War, where we called up the National Guard units and we
what?
deployed those poor guys, man.
No, those people were in the military and they got orders and they went and did their
I know,
duty.
but when you
Like
sign up to the National Guard, you expect to help with
national
emergencies, national
emergencies,
disasters.
yes,
Yeah,
and
not a war of aggression in
yes, and
Iraq.
in times of war, they can be called up.
See,
It's
but a war that we start, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't think they would sign up for it. They'd be like, "Oh, damn it, I was here for the benefits," you know?
well, yeah, but that's what happens when you sign the
Yeah,
paperwork and you agree to follow orders.
yeah,
I did. I signed the paperwork. I took the oath.
yeah,
That's one thing I was going to ask you about. I
yeah.
took the oath to honor and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and
And
domestic.
domestic.
Right? Did you take that oath?
No, I've never had. I don't think I had to.
Okay,
take
so
that
that's
oath
one
ever.
reason why I take it way more seriously than you did because I honor that oath.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
Do you think that it's good to live in a free country?
Yeah, that's why we're here, bro.
Right,
If
do you
it's not
know
America,
that?
we're screwed. I got to go back to Cuba. What am I going to do over there?
Well, do you know that we no longer live in a free country?
Bueno, I
It's
have
not good.
some more.
It's not
I have
good.
some. No, listen, I have some nuanced views on this. I'd love to share them with
No,
you.
according to
You
our current sitting vice president, we no longer live in a free country.
Who?
Out of his own mouth.
Ohio guy. What's his name?
JD Vance, Ohio
JD
guy.
Vance.
You voted for him.
Sí, pero
Sí, pero. Come on,
I have some.
Manny.
Can I tell you my nuanced views?
Well, we always do this. We start talking about something and then we just kind of flow into the next thing and we don't finish what we're talking about.
No, but about America, like the American political structure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure because you obviously seem to me to be a very reasonably educated person that is involved heavily in American politics. No? So have you heard the term this? But like this, it's a thing that you like.
I pay attention.
Yeah, you pay attention
because it's important.
Sure. Okay.
Well, sure. So. it's literally life or death, and you're like, whatever.
Hey, bro, but I already told
you.
Do
you know that the decisions that they've made already have cost people their lives?
I'm sure. Yeah, man.
I'm sure. People that did not have to die, like needless deaths for no reason other than for Elon Musk to get his investigation squashed.
Who had to die?
People in all over the world have been affected. You know that the USAID.
You mean like international aid programs,
right? Yes. Do you know that people here?
There's something I didn't tell you. I didn't share this. I was a Peace Corps volunteer.
Cool. I was
a Peace Corps volunteer for 1 year in Ethiopia,
and it was cool to be out there helping people, right?
It was definitely cool to hang out with the Ethiopians and be a part of their educational structure.
And it helped them.
English.
Yeah.
Well, no, I taught them English, 9th and 11th graders, right? I thought that was great, but I definitely did not appreciate the organization. I had criticisms of the organization.
But you enjoyed helping the people, right?
Aside from the Ethiopians were awesome.
Aside from some gripes about the procedurals, because you don't probably understand 100% of the procedurals, you have some gripes.
I can tell you what they told me. You know what they told me? I remember I had a friend who was from Lehigh in Florida, but he lived in Miami, and he was a black guy. And he's like, "Oh, I'm from Lehigh." I'm like, "Oh, hey, you're from whatever." We start hanging out, and we had to write like essays about like multiculturalism or whatever. And in one of my essays, I put, it's a pleasure to have a friend like this friend that will remain nameless. A black man from whatever. Bro, the executive assistant came to me and she was like, "We don't say black, we say African American."
Well, okay.
And I was like, what? I was like, lady, leave me alone.
I understand you, man, but if that's the extent of your gripes, man, come on. I know people are butthurt and anal about stuff. I get that. And that's not anything I'm talking about, man. I know.
That was my experience. It was like that hyper liberalism, if you use the wrong word, it's like you're offending them. And I'm just like, and I just teach English.
So you're more like the anti-woke kind of person? You said you were allergic to like the trans stuff?
Not just trans stuff. It's just anything that seems to me to be like imposed, like against my natural thinking, like this freedom that you're talking about, like being a free country and whatever. Mm-hmm. Like if at any point the way that because I now more than ever, now that I believe in God, I'm very careful with what I say, or I try to be anyways. I'm not perfect, but if even now when I'm expressing myself in these kind of softer and easier manner, it's still causing offense, I'm like, dude, there's not much more I could do. I might as well just not say anything, which is like, and that's what I meant. I like you, Johnny. I like you, brother.
Okay, well,
I don't want to offend you, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want to cause you.
Okay, I got to say something.
Angry,
Okay, I told my girl something the other day after we finished, or yesterday, whatever it was. Like, I'm gonna have to take back what I told you in the last one, man. I told you that you seem like the nicest guy. And I have to take that back because you can't help but lie, man.
Okay.
And I know that you're not trying to. Like, this is what I'm trying to get through to folks like you, is that the things that you have been taught to believe have broken your mind, sir. Okay. They have made
I told you I was an atheist.
Huh? But Manny,
what do you want me to tell you? We read the same guys, Richard Dawkins and the rest of them.
Okay, Richard Dawkins, not Dawking.
What did I say?
It's Dawking. It's Dawkins.
Dawkins.
Yeah, Dawkins.
Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens was great.
Yeah, Hitchens is good, and
I like that guy a lot. He's so smart, bro. Hey, rest in peace.
But yes, rest in peace. Okay, it doesn't really matter who you read. Okay, it matters what is real, right? Yeah. Isn't that the real question? You told me the other day that you were just out here looking for truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I think right there is where you're lying. Okay. Are you looking for truth, or are you looking for confirmation of what you already believe?
That's a great question.
We talked about that a little bit with confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Right. You said you were. Right? Yeah. You said you were confirming the hell out of your biases. Yeah. Right? Right. So this is my point. Is it not? I mean, when I say that you're playing make-believe and you go like, yeah, but it's better. Like,
it's better. Yeah.
Do you understand that it's not real?
But this is where what we define real.
So right. Example, this is where your brain starts going. This is what happens. Okay. The mind rebels.
Yes, the mind does rebel, and you have to train it.
And you have been trained. Do you get that?
Myself.
Well, yes.
Auto brainwash.
Well, not just solely. You were told things.
Yeah, but when they were telling me, I was like, "This is nonsense."
Right, but now, right. But then here it is. Still,
something here.
It's in your mind because they put it there. What's the default when we're born? What is the default position? Do we believe in God or do we not believe in God?
From Catholic
default
answer.
No.
Catholic answer is that the laws of God are written in your heart.
Okay, but I don't want some bullshit Catholic answer. I want to know the actual answer to my question.
Oh, I don't know, bro. I'm
yes,
not
you do.
Psychologist, a clinical baby psychologist.
No.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Because when a baby
like my daughter, when they're born, they can't speak to me. I don't know what they're.
Well, did your daughter believe in God when she was born?
No, I don't know.
No, she did not. She did not. She could not because no one had ever told her about it, right?
Well, she can't. She doesn't even believe in the day, like 24 hours.
Right, because she doesn't know.
She has no idea what's going on.
Isn't that like the ignorant position, where never been told anything?
Yeah.
Right. Well, actually, I don't even think that's ignorant because in order to be ignorant, the information has to be available to you. It's just uninformed.
They can't even process it.
Right. It's not even available, right? So.
Yeah. What are you drinking there? You got a Coke?
Dr. Pepper Cherry.
You're making me want to get one, bro.
Zero sugar.
Hey, you mind? I'm gonna go get a
Coke. Go for it, man. Go for it.
All right. I'll be right back.
It's all good.
Look at my shorts.
Yeah, I saw that, man. And you're wearing the suit jacket all the time. It's kind of interesting. But he lives in Miami, so that's probably warm down there. Okay, hopefully we can get Manny to actually face some facts around here.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. All right, could you hear me when you were around there?
Cheers. Yeah, I gotta get my headphones.
Okay. So hopefully we can get you to face some facts, right?
Well, listen, Johnny, I've been here. This is my third time talking to you.
Yep.
I don't shy away from the question.
Actually, I was going to thank you for that. You've been very brave, if not honest.
And I try. Here's the thing, though. What you define as reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I see a lot of
let's start there.
And murkiness out there.
Okay, let's start there. What is reality? Like, shouldn't we start there?
I have no idea. I have no idea what reality is.
Okay, well, let's define reality, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I need to zoom that in, or can you see it?
I can see it. It's a little blurry, but I get it.
Like I can go in a little bit, like type a little better. Mm-hmm. The world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them.
Yeah.
So what do those words mean?
No, I get it. But there's another word that I want you to Google.
No, hold on. You can't just go, I get it, and steelman it for me. What is reality?
Well, no, this presupposes the idea that reality is objective and that you can have an accurate point of view and determine what is real vis-a-vis your relationship to matter and the physical space and whatever.
Right. That's what I said the other night. We have to have there's one assumption that we have to make is that we're dealing with the real world in our experiences.
That what we're doing, we're touching is real.
Right. And you touched on it the other night that if we're not doing that, we become delusional.
Well, I don't know. You would have to play that back to me. I don't remember saying that.
But you said that you were experiencing lots of delusions. Yeah, we had some talks. Yes.
Yeah. But the other one that I'm thinking about, it escapes me right now. But it's like the word or the study of like how you come to know things. It's like
epistemology.
Yes. Epistemology. Right. It's like, how do you know what you know? Right. Because like reality is out there, but how do you know anything about like what is, this philosophy? Right.
Yes.
And that's kind of like, bro, I doubt a lot about what I'm told. I doubt a lot about just what my prior assumptions were.
Okay. This is good. This is good. You should doubt a lot. You should question. You should be skeptical. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's look at the definition of epistemology real fast while we're here. The theory of knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity, and scope. Epistemology is the investigation of what distinguishes justified belief from opinion. Right? And we talked about justifications, right? That's what you said you were doing.
Yeah.
Right. So what is your epistemology for all of your justifications, sir?
Well, here's the thing. I don't even feel prepared really to.
Right. This is like when we start talking about that, we get into more like a formal debate setting. And that's not kind of what I'm trying to avoid because I'm not a trained debater and you're not a trained debater.
I don't know anything, bro. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'm able to tell you, bro.
Well, that's one thing that I wish that you would accept more of is that you don't know the things that you claim to know.
No, I don't claim to know them.
Well, you do though. I mean, I'm not talking.
It's interesting, bro. It's interesting.
So, do you believe that you believe in the one, or do you know the one true God? Is
of the Bible? Yeah.
So you believe in the one true God?
Yeah, of the Bible.
Okay, that's you saying that you know something.
I don't. But it's not called know. It's called belief, right?
Well, I know.
I know of the thing, but I believe.
Okay,
I can't prove it to you. I don't have any evidence.
Okay, but that's the thing is we have evidence against the God of the Bible.
Okay.
Against all the gods that humanity has created.
That's fine.
But you say that's fine, but so why are you still saying that the God is real?
I mean, I was right there. I didn't believe in it before, and now I find it compelling and interesting.
You find it compelling and interesting that this God of the Bible could be real, right? Except that the Bible,
like that.
So is it the Bible or not?
Yes, definitely, it's the Bible. But this is
but the Bible's not real, Manny.
Well, I got it right here. It's definitely real. It's
yes, it is a book that exists in this reality. Yes, the claims made in the Bible.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I think that was me this time.
Okay.
All right, it's all good though, man. Okay, so that screwed me up though. What were we talking about?
You know that I'm dumb for not listening to the evidence.
Yes. Okay, you understand? Do you understand the level of evidence that we have that disproves the Bible? I don't think you do.
Yeah, I got a rough idea of it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you have a rough idea of how the Bible's not true, why are you trying to claim that the Bible is true?
Well, in a certain part of this, it's a personality trait. I'm a contrarian. I recognize that.
Okay,
And
so
so,
as if you recognize that, then shouldn't you take steps to alleviate the symptoms of that?
no, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think I'm definitely enjoying reading of the Bible, this exploration of spirituality, the intended benefits and the consequences of it. I find it compelling. And like all my life, it was like the same, oh, it doesn't make sense. It's not real. It's nonsense. And I was like, yes, it doesn't make sense. It's nonsense. I understand. And I started reading a little bit. And as I get past that barrier of Genesis 1, Genesis 2, right? Once I get past that and I start reading, I'm like, man, I'm like,
So
okay,
once you suspend disbelief, then you
yes,
believe.
that's what I tell you. Yes, yeah, but I said that from the beginning.
I
When I
know,
suspend disbelief, right? I go, okay,
but
let me see, bro.
why?
What's in here?
Okay,
It's
can
interesting.
you explain why in the world that could possibly be a good thing?
Bueno,
Right.
let me share this with you, okay? Because we got into a little bit of like family last time.
Mm-hmm.
This is and I made a video about this in my channel, and it's one of these what you would call, again, maybe you would say, oh, that's a coincidence or whatever, or like you're meditating, bro. I'm doing the rosary. I'm praying in my backyard and I'm doing the rosary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it's special powers or anything, right? There's no
No,
juju happening.
the
It's a
benefit of
form of,
ritual.
yeah, it's a benefit of ritual, and it's the benefit of like Western meditation, right? In the same way that you can benefit from doing like yoga or whatever.
Yeah, I
You know what
don't
I
think
mean?
it matters which ritual. That's the point of
Sure.
saying the benefit of ritual. It's
Sure.
the
Yeah.
and that has been true. Excuse me. That has been true all throughout human history, has it not?
Right. Exactly. So
None.
now I'm practicing it. Right. I'm
Right.
in my and
So
but let me share this with you.
okay,
Let me share
but
this with you.
okay,
Yeah.
but I have something to say about what you're saying right now.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like you understand that everybody that has had these feelings all throughout human history, they practice the same, I'm not the same ritual, but the same type of ritualistic behaviors, and
Yeah.
they got the same benefits, right?
Yes.
So it's not the belief, right? It's the ritual. It's the benefit of the ritual, not the
Yeah, but
actual
it's
belief.
downstream from beliefs. The rituals are
Right.
downstream.
Right, but you understand that anybody who's ever done these ritual type things and had different beliefs than what you believe, even like we touched on Islam, the Muslims today, when they get the same belief and they get the same high, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is theirs wrong but yours isn't?
Bueno, it's not to say that when they feel this connection to God that they're wrong, right? That's not the claim against Islam,
But the book
right?
is not true, right?
Right, but their book is not true.
But so how do
but the
they
book
have
contains, yeah,
the real God if the book is not real?
because they have enough of our books, the Old Testament and the New Testament. They have enough of this tie into the Abrahamic faiths that make them like adjacent, right? And
I
so there
have
is that grace,
Okay, I haven't talked to a whole lot of Muslims, but I've talked to a handful here and there, and none at all that I have ever talked to would ever say that, man. They would
Well,
never
that's
say
their
that.
business,
Yeah,
That's
but why are you just making stuff up then? Like,
I'm not. Listen.
I,
What I'm telling you is what's known. The Muslims claim to be the children of Ishmael. That's their descendancy, which is a child of Abraham,
yeah,
right? And then they claim to, I think they're mistaken. I think they're wrong, but they claim to be in the paths of all the
right.
prophets and
Okay,
ain't
but my
Jesus as the Messiah.
okay. We don't need
Whatever.
all the details and stuff. What's my point? My point is that they get the same benefits of the ritual.
Yeah,
So
good for them,
how is it the belief that's doing it?
because it is a belief in God. That's
But
the
it's a
downstream belief.
different God. So
Well, they
let's
wouldn't say it's a
let's
different
do
God.
someone else other than Islam. Let's take
Yeah,
the Vikings
yeah, like the pagans or
when
whatever,
they
or
did
the
their
Hindus.
rituals or
Yeah,
whichever other religion that's not Christianity, that's not one of the Abrahamic gods. They
yeah.
get the same like benefits of the ritual, right?
I don't know what the ritual
Well,
was.
it
I don't
doesn't matter
know.
what the ritual is that you
Well,
understand they do rituals, right?
yeah, but the
And
Vikings are bloodthirsty. I don't know if their ritual was killing
there's a
people.
reason why people do the rituals because we get the benefit of the ritual, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so is it the belief that's giving you that benefit, or is it the ritualistic behavior that is reinforcing something within yourself? Do you follow me?
I do, but I think it's definitely tied to the belief. So if we take the
Oh,
Vikings, for example,
okay,
right? If I can take the Vikings, for example,
sure.
the Vikings had ritual beliefs in where they would sacrifice prisoners to their gods in certain festive times of the year, human sacrifice and things of this nature.
Okay.
And so this ritual, okay, would impart on them a different feeling because it's not connected to the true God, it's connected to like demons and whatever. And this is why these people were so warlike. These people were conquering and spreading, looting and pillaging and everything. It wasn't until their Christianization that they stopped this behavior in Northern Europe. Once they became Christian, they stopped human sacrifices.
I think that you are a little misinformed about what the Vikings really were man.
They did blood eagles.
They were a civilized society that
with human sacrifice.
They killed people like everyone else in the ancient world, like people do today. Yeah, a lot of
like, for example, the Aztecs too. They would do human sacrifice.
Okay,
right.
You say that was connected to demons or whatever, right? Because you believe in the one true God. Okay, so that Aztec dude that's up there ripping the heart out of his victim, and he's holding it up to the sun, and he's screaming all la la la, whatever he's doing. Yeah, right. And he's he's calling down the wrath or the mercy or the rain or whatever. Right. Yeah. He's believing in the one true God, isn't he?
He's believing in multiple gods in his pagan deity.
Whichever.
But you know who's not? You know who's not? The victim. The victim is getting screwed here.
Well, right? I don't think so. Probably in the Aztec world, the victim was probably willing.
No, they were captured people from different tribes.
I mean, depending on which sacrifice and which god and which time of the year and if it was harvest and if whatever.
It's never a good time when your heart's getting taken out.
Probably not. Probably not when it's like, actually you laying there, right?
Yeah, you don't like that. So that's why the ritual is different.
Okay, and but Manny,
the rosary is different.
Okay, Manny, why are you skirting around my point?
Well, but what is the point?
I've told you a couple times. My point is that it's not the belief at all. It doesn't matter what one believes. It matters that you're doing the ritualistic behavior. Whichever behavior you were taught to be good, you do the thing.
I give you examples, but I give you examples how the beliefs matter. If you're doing human sacrifice and you're getting some benefit from the human sacrifice, it's going to be different than meditation.
Okay, but so Manny, during the Aztec one, well, when dude got sacrificed, and it wasn't good for the victim, but it was good for the priest and everyone else who believed in it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So the victim got the short end of the stick, right? But that's okay because we're all sinners, right?
Well, no, they're all, even the people doing the heart taken out, they're super sinners.
Really?
They're beyond that. Yeah.
Really? How? Do they get to go to hell? You told me that the people that never. Well, wait, but you said that the people that don't ever hear about Jesus, they don't. I mean, they get to go to heaven, right?
Well, no, they're judged by their own condition. You know what I mean? They're judged by their own condition. They're judged by their own knowledge.
So that victim,
God, I don't know.
So that victim that got his heart ripped out, he didn't believe in your God. Did he go to heaven or did he go to hell? He was a victim of a gruesome murder.
Maybe I can imagine situations where he goes to heaven. I can imagine where he goes to hell. It's
so what is you imagining situations have to do with the truth?
Because I can't answer that question. This is a metaphysical reality. I don't know.
So these are the things that we should be labeling as opinion, right?
Yeah, definitely. And don't take my opinion for it. Okay. I don't know any, like, I'm not qualified to tell you this person goes to hell. That's not what I do. I don't know that.
So why is it that all you deal with is opinion and you never deal with fact?
Because, bro, I was in the middle of telling you a story about me and the rosary, man. You know?
Well, okay. Tell me to finish the story about the rosary, but even though you still have intentionally skirted my point.
You apply intention. I feel like I answered it, but maybe I didn't do a good enough job.
I feel like you intentionally skirted my point, talking about the different kinds of belief and stuff. The different kinds of belief. No, it doesn't. They believed in the thing as being the one and the true. Did they not?
Right. Yes.
Whatever the thing was that they believed in.
Not one, right? Because the
Manny, again, here we go. Stop. I'm not talking about their individual beliefs. Whatever the example you want to use, whatever belief they had, they believed it to be true, correct?
Yeah.
whether it was the Vikings or if it was the Islam folks or it was the Aztecs or if it was some Samoans on an island somewhere that believed in their tiki god or whatever. Not to be racist against anybody. I don't want to like say something wrong in this day and age, right?
Samoans, that's another good example. The Samoans practice cannibalism and human sacrifice.
Like lots of people did around the world at certain points.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's the absence of Christianity.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, because when they have their own religions that are not from Jesus, they're practicing human sacrifice. They're doing cannibalism. It's savage.
Your God, we just went over this the other night, man. Your God specifically commanded, said he was going to cause cannibalism. So your God is cool, man.
This is what I was going to tell you about that. I was thinking about that yesterday too. You know what I was going to tell you, bro? Look at the juxtaposition. They would go from sacrificing their children to their fake gods to being unable to worship these gods because of the wrath of God. They would have to eat their children in a siege. That's the point of that passage in the scripture.
Okay.
It's about punishment. It's about punishment.
Yeah.
It's just like Dostoevsky, crime and punishment.
Right. But it's not,
punishment has to
it's not about punishment for the kids, is it?
Sometimes, like nuking Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they got to take the kids too.
Yeah, but that wasn't good, Manny.
But okay, bro. We do it. Imagine is there
a reason why we haven't nuked more cities? Getting a city nuked would be horrific, would it not?
Yeah, of course, for sure. But we did it twice.
So God nuked that city, right?
He definitely nuked Sodom and Gomorrah too.
Okay, well, that's not real, Manny.
Yeah, they found the sulfur.
No, Manny.
Yeah, you could buy it on Etsy.
Yeah, that should tell you something, man.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna buy one and send it to you.
Okay, I had a thought earlier, bro. Like you remind me, and it fits your name too. You're like a man-child.
Oh, maybe, you know.
Like seriously, it's
young
like
at heart. Young at heart.
Okay, but I think that you're also young in your intellect.
Okay, maybe, you know.
Okay, but do you understand that the things that you're doing, the behaviors that you're displaying, are very, very childish?
Okay, but judge me by my fruit.
I am. That's exactly what I'm doing, man.
But I'm more than my ideas, and I'm more what I say. I'm a father. I'm a family man.
I understand that too. That's why.
This is what I am.
That's why we're still talking, brother.
Yeah, the ideas that I have and the way that I express them are secondary to the fruit of my heart and the love that I have for my family, and I'm trying to put good energy out there, you know.
Good.
So yeah, bro, maybe to some I come across, you know, like a
but
child.
I think that you just said it all right there, man. It's the fruit of your heart, right? Yeah. Is it the fruit of the Bible that's good, or is it the fruit of you because you decided you wanted to be a good guy?
I was transformed by the Bible. Yeah.
Well, that's good that you found something that like enabled you to make that transformation.
And it's not even a complete. I don't want to get like. I'm still obviously still a sinner. There's a long way to go, but at least I don't think you were a sinner in
the first place. But I understand what you're saying. You saw the path that you were on, and you did not like it.
That's the thing, though. I liked it when I was on it.
Exactly.
It felt great.
And then what happened? Then something happened that didn't feel good, did it? Yeah. Something happened that didn't feel good. Excuse me. You said you were going to screw homeboy over, right?
Yeah.
And something happened, and you did not feel good, and you went, "Hey, I don't like how that feels." Yeah. Right? And you attribute that to like the Holy Ghost, like choking you up, right?
Yeah, because it was like my soul hurt.
Right. That's
it was like a physical sensation.
Yes, you know? And I've had that. It's called guilt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then this is what I did. You know what I did as an atheist? Because I was an atheist up to that point. And I was like, whoa, what is this? So I was like,
the first time you felt guilty in your life, man. Like, damn.
That's my point. Yes, bro. Yes.
Hey, it's called a breakthrough moment, dude.
Okay. Well, I had it. And then so I was like, okay, if I want to ask God, how do I do it? You can't just talk to him. So I said, let me reach out to his representatives. You know, so I called the rabbi, I called the Catholic priest, I called a lawyer from Colombia who was like officiated my wedding, and then I called some Bible study guy out of Colombia too, bro. And all four of them were told me the exact same thing. It was very interesting. They were like, "Hey, just give the guy the money back. Don't worry about it. You know, get him out of the house, but give him his money back."
Yes, you mean they told you to do the right thing?
Yeah, it didn't matter how I spinned it in the conversation.
Yeah, and isn't that funny that you felt guilty and you knew that you were doing something wrong, and all those people, they heard your story and they went, "Manny, give him the money back." Like, I understand you don't want him in the house and you can't have him there because he's a problem, but it's his money and it's not yours, right?
Yeah.
And they all told you that no matter which perspective you asked, right?
Yeah.
And do you know why that is, Manny?
Oh, you would say it's common sense.
Because, well, no, I was going to say it's because at heart, those men you asked were good people. And you were starting your journey towards being a good person.
Well, yeah, there you go. Thank glory to God.
Okay, well, that's great that's what you use to take your steps. But like I said the other night, you don't need the feather, man. You can fly.
Pero listen, maybe it's easy for others, maybe it's easy for other people, but let me tell you que, espera, give me a second. Mi amor, estoy trabajando, por favor, sube. No, mi amor, por favor, vaya con la abuela. No, mi amor, que estoy en cámara. Por favor, suba. No, esa noche. Sí, pero buenas noches, tienes que subir a la abuela. Hey, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to put her to bed. I'm going to take her upstairs and I'll call you right back, okay?
All right, just hit me up on my phone, man.
On the how?
On the yeah, whatever, on the message. I'll just hit, I'll end this stream and you just hit me up on the comments on this one. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll see you in a minute, man. All right.
Bye-bye.